Alright folks, what's going on? This is Clayton over at AndroidAuthority.com. Today I've got a roundup of a few of the best keyboards available for Android phones and tablets. I'm going to be using my tablet today because more often than not people find difficulty in typing on their screen of their tablet with the stock keyboard. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a few of the keyboards that we have today. We've got our Logitech keyboard, our SwiftKey Tablet X keyboard, our Slide It keyboard, our Thumb keyboard, and then we've got an Ice Cream Sandwich keyboard installed. Now for the sake of typing, I'm going to be using the Color Note application, and I'm just going to show you the keyboard's functionalities from here. Actually, keep in mind we're going to want to go to our settings, and when we select our settings, we're going to want to make sure that we have all of our different input methods configured. We'll go to our language and input settings here, and we can configure our Logitech keyboard here, our Thumb keyboard, SwiftKey Tablet X, and Ice Cream Sandwich keyboard, as well as Slide It. We'll do that just by pressing the little check bars there, and that'll get us activated. Anyways, going back, we'll go to our Color Note application, and you can see here that we have our SwiftKey Tablet X keyboard running. Now this is very cool because for the tablet application, it actually allows you to have these smaller keys. So we have our thumb typing. And when we type something, it actually comes up with some predictions. So if we wanted to actually type thumbnail instead of thumb, we could just select that. And it actually gives us predictions of what it thinks we should type next. Anyways, we have our settings here for the SwiftKey Tablet X, which I will click here. And we have our settings, our share, voice input, support. So we'll go to our settings, and we have our languages and layouts, personalization, theme, advanced, SwiftKey stats, quick tips, support, and about SwiftKey Tablet X. Anyways, we have our languages and layouts. I downloaded the English pack. Our personalization is where we can learn from Facebook. It'll learn the words that we've typed into Facebook, as well as Gmail, Twitter, or it can do it from our RSS feed. We can change the theme. Right now my theme is neon, but I'm going to go back to a light theme here for the sake of the video. We have our different typing styles. We can choose what our typing style is, whether it be precise or rapid, and we can choose what our space bar does. I'm actually going to choose always insert a space because I don't really like it when it completes a word for me when tapping the space bar. We can choose what our quick double tapping the spacebar does. Now it's actually going to enter a period for us now. We can choose whether or not we want it to do that, as well as auto caps and haptic feedback. We can have voice recognition key for speaking into our Android device and having it recognize our voice and type out what we're saying. Anyways, our SwiftKey Tablet X stats is it tells us how much of our efficiency is improved by using the SwiftKey Tablet X keyboard, and it has saved 70 keystrokes. Anyways, I'll go back to the keyboard, and now we have our light theme, so we can type around on that. And when we type the number key here is when we get our numbers, and we can actually get all of our punctuation here, and then here are the rest of our symbols with some smileys and our other like math symbols, brackets, and some currency symbols there. Anyways, when we press enter, we can go back to this, and we can choose the switch between a regular and split keyboard. So here would be our regular keyboard. And with doing that, we can just go back and forth between the thumb keyboard application and the regular keyboard application. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is click on the little keyboard icon and choose one of our other keyboards. Next, I'll just choose our Slide It keyboard. Now this is one that actually is modeled after the swipe styling of typing. So what you're going to do here is just slide it, so we can go, and we have typed slide. Now we can choose everything that we want. If we didn't want slide, we can choose the one we did want. So this is how you type on that. You just would go from letter to letter in a swiping fashion, kind of like the stock swipe application, but this has a lot more functionality. Anyways, we have our voice recognition here. We can go to our symbols here, and we have 4 different pages of symbols. Anyways, when we click the slide it, we can choose whether or not we just want to type, or if we want to actually slide it. And this is our different bar here for going down in our suggestions. Anyways, we'll go here, and we have our English language selected, and we can go to our settings. So you can see here, this basically shows us the language settings, and here's all of the available languages. There's plenty, and we can backup, restore, or remove our application. So if we go into the settings of our Slide It keyboard, you can see that we have our language and dictionary, look and feel, preferences, we can share, and it has our about slider as well as a skins and speech to text sort of selector here. Now if we go to look and feel, we can change the skin of the keyboard, which right now we have the Slide It 3D, but I will choose, I would choose the classic Slide It and apply. Now we can go to landscape and full screen mode, and as well as long press duration and reset visual settings. We have our audio feedback and our vibration feedback disabled, which I like. We can change our language and dictionary. Now when we go to our preferences, we can choose what our auto space does and what our tapping on the space bar does, as well as auto caps and special characters. And we can finish the next word by sliding as well. We can also restore the factory settings to the original keyboard right from here. And we can go and choose our speech to text, as well as import our context for it to know what name we are typing when we're sliding. And we'll go to our next input method, which is going to be the thumb keyboard 4. Now this is my favorite for as far as thumb typing on the tablet. Anyways, this is our first configuration for the thumb keyboard, and this is actually going to allow us to have bigger tiles to type with our thumbs. This is in an ice cream sandwich sort of theme, and it gives us tips. Anyways, this is our numbers. We have two different panels for punctuation and numbers and whatnot. We can go back, and when we click on this, it can give us our voice recognition, and it can also give us our settings. So here we go. When we click and hold, we can choose a pin, we can choose the tips bar here, and we have our general keyboard settings and our select layout. I'm going to go to the select layout, and you can choose whether or not it's a phone split. This works for the phone. Tablet layout, and I'm going to choose the 10 and 9 inch tablet layout because this is a 10.1 inch tablet. So now this is really functional. We have a really cool keyboard. And see, it gives us all of these different suggestions. So I'll choose keyboard, and with these you can just choose, and you'll get your different punctuation with your numbers here that you can hit with your right thumb. And go back, and when you're in the thumb keyboard split here, you can choose your different layouts, and I'm not going to show the message again. And so we can choose it to have an entire thumb keyboard here for our right hand. We can choose the full layout keyboard, and then we can choose our split thumb keyboard. So this is a really good keyboard if you want the thumb functionality. It's really fast and easy to use, and I find myself using it a lot. This is the one I return to all the time. So we'll go on to our next one now. And our next one is going to be the Logitech keyboard. Now with the Logitech keyboard, this keyboard's functionality is it actually learns where your hands are typing to give you more of a fluid approach to typing and a more customized approach. So anyways, we can start typing. Oh. Anyways, here's our space bar. We just tap with this, and if we go over like this, it gives us our arrow keys as well as our page up and page down. So this is like sort of a computer keyboard style approach. Our numbers are up here, and I'll just swipe back to get rid of the numbers. This gives us our tab, so we can just type away. Oh, gosh dang it. And I made only one error, which is pretty good because this is one of the first times I've used this keyboard. And this is really nice for people because it's very ergonomic, and you can get at every key you want in the sort of sense you would after learning to type on a computer keyboard. Anyways, we'll go to our next input method, which is the ice cream sandwich keyboard. And now this is the free version. With the donated version, you can get all sorts of things such as themes. Anyways, this is just going to basically give you the theme of the ice cream sandwich operating system. This is not a thumb keyboard, but then again, all these keyboards do work on phones, so this would be very functional if you have a Gingerbread operating system phone, but you wish to get the keyboard of ice cream sandwich. So here we have ICS, and we can touch it again to save our predictions. OS, and this basically gives us a it opens up a menu here, and when we're done we have our input there. And if we were to turn our tablet onto the other orientation, it would just be basically like using a phone with the keyboard in the bottom half. Now anyways, we have our numbers as well as our different punctuation settings here and our symbols, and we can go back to the ABC. And then we have our voice recognition, and when we hold, we can get to our settings. And here we go to our ice cream sandwich keyboard settings, and we can download the donated version, change our haptic feedback and our sounds on key press, as well as our pop-up on key press. And with the donated version, we can get keyboard themes and have a different background image. We can change the height, and we can also change the user dictionary. Well, anyways, guys, that was a rundown on the best keyboards for tablets and phones so far. And if you liked the video, keep subscribing to AndroidAuthority.com.